No, particularly in the Lockwood Manor set, they had done the grand hallway, so this is all in a major big set building. You walk through this hallway and you feel like you're in a manor. And then the hallway leads to a grand library of all of these animal or dinosaur figurines and enclosed in glass cases. And there's like a skeleton in the middle of the room. And then there are stairs leading up to a mezzanine.
Yeah.
And it's just, you just couldn't believe how all out that they went. It just felt like you were really in the building.
Yeah. And that's it. Because you want to, I guess when you're making a set, you want to be able to film it from every angle. You just go make decisions on the day, go what looks best. And if it's got real depth, you're fine. If you've just done like one dimension, you shoot into one or two angles and it's not as flexible. So you might as well build it out.
Yeah, well,
turn it into a theme park.
This particular set was used in many scenes of the film, and it in fact has the kind of the third act scene where you've got the Indoraptor sort of chasing Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and Maisie around the room. So yeah, it was certainly very spacious, and yeah, I think they planned it very well.
Yeah, and so after that, like, is that the point where you go made it? Or you're getting that imposter syndrome where you just, man, I'm just a kid. I don't know what the hell.
Trying to stay humble at all times, but no.
Not like humble. Like humble is, you don't want to brag. That's the opposite of that, right? But you're going, I have a job to do and it's a very high powered job. And I got into it completely by accident. I didn't plan for this.
No, 100%. Yeah, it was very much, I wouldn't say quite made it, but it was like, okay, I've got an opportunity here. Let's grab it and do a really good job with what they want us to do, what they're trusting us to do. And the purpose of that set visit was actually to see, wasn't necessarily just to have a fan experience. It was actually to visit the set of the Dinosaur Protection Group, which is what Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Claire Dearing, sets up. And her task in Fallen Kingdom is to protect the dinosaurs on the island. And so we replicated that not-for-profit organization online. And so we're doing the website, the social media, we're creating kids content, and it's all real. It's save the Triceratops from extinction. And you'd see people online that weren't familiar with the film and they're like, is this for real? Is this a joke? But it's all funny.
And then you run a risk there because in the age of fake news,
yeah.
You see how effective that is on some people when they go, how stupid that. So you might be getting kids like fully trying to save the Triceratops. I don't know. You might be affected. They grow up arguing with science going, no, there is Triceratops there somewhere. Yeah.
No, but it was so much fun. And we had a really good time with that campaign. And I guess connecting now back with Chronicle is like we've done a digital immersive fan-focused campaign now for 2 films of a beloved franchise that everyone knows around the world with a major film studio. Why can't we replicate that for other movies and other studios and other forms of pop culture and entertainment through something that we've created ourselves? And that's what the focus on Chronicle is.
Yeah, because for every young Tim Glover that loves Jurassic Park, there's kids that do that about, like I did it about Terminator 2. Yeah. Jurassic Park and Terminator 2 were the 2 big cinematic experiences in my life. My first movie was Land Before Time, so maybe that helped as well. That was the first time I ever went to the movies. But
we have a similarity there because that was my first movie.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good, right? Yeah. In the city. I went into the city, caught the ferry across from South Perth, off we went. And so that was a big one. Then Jurassic Park was just me, my friend Chris Wilson, and our dads. And I still remember Savage Garden playing on the radio on the drive in there. I just remember the whole experience. And then it was packed and we sat the front row. So we got a very close-up view of it, very big, wide, and just blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. And for every generation, there's a kid where that movie happens and they become that fan.
I like where you're going with this because that's if someone asks me like, what's the long-term aim of Chronicle? I'm like, the idea is that for the very first time, hopefully, we're going to have an app or a platform where you are collecting collectibles from all of your beloved franchises. And no one person's going to be the same. Mm. You're going to have enough in there that, as you said, Land Before Time, Terminator 2, etc. You're going to be collecting that. I'm going to be collecting something different. And we're going to be able to share those experiences with our friends. And you're going to have this platform, Chronicle, that kind of defines you as a person, all of your interests, all of your likes.
Yeah, like a man cave, a digital man cave.
That's it.
Yeah. Have you thought of that, or did I just think of that? You thought of that.
No, I think you've said it. You said it in a way that I wasn't thinking, but no, that's a digital man cave. I like it.
Yeah, because I was up at my friend Jesse's house yesterday. We did a photo shoot, thing up there for some band stuff. And he's got like a sort of like his shrine, and it's got a lot of pop vinyls and then books and comics and just things that he's proud of in a bookshelf. And it's quite fun to browse. Like, so you can see part of the house tour lingered on that bit. This is my pop, this is my thing, this is my thing. And you're like, so you're creating something like that goes in your phone, becomes part of your identity online.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to be building that. And so the idea as well is that you don't necessarily have to just stay within Chronicle. You can, sure enough, we're going to have a public profile that you can share with your contacts and they can see what you want them to see. But the idea is that, hey, if you want to share your collection to Facebook or to Twitter, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, just no one screenshot it. No one fucking take photos of the screen. That's mine.
That's the cool thing. So like the idea behind the NFT technology and the blockchain is, sure, you can share maybe the graphic of what it is, but you own that collectible and that no one can take that away from you.
Yeah. And now just, it sounds like real art in terms of that. If it's scarcity determines it, its author determines it, and it can accumulate value as well. So that $69 million one, that got notoriety as being a $69 million piece. And maybe if you sold it to someone who didn't know what it was, they'd say, I'll give you $1 and a stick of bubble gum, but they could have got it. But then this has been defined as that's the price for this, the going rate at that point in time. Who's to say that's not $100 million and you can make money from that in 30 years' time?
Yeah. So we think that there's going to be two types of collectors on Chronicle. One is going to be the fan that just wants that collectible. And it's, I am not giving this away for anything. That's my collectible. That's my franchise. That's my favorite movie character or my favorite dinosaur or Star Wars character, whatever. That's mine. Yeah. And then you're going to have the punter or the speculator that's, I can see that there's only 100 of these minted. I'm going to hold on to this for a little while and see what happens. And I'm going to sell it for double or triple the price in 6 months.
Yeah.
And certainly I think both of those kind of fans or users are going to exist.
And in terms of Chronicle now, so you've just finished seed funding but are you tying your life together where agencies and studios come to you and say, can you operate this for us? Or is your job now to go out and acquire IP?
Bit of both. So we're certainly having a few discussions. Obviously, we're very fortunate that executive vice president of digital marketing, Doug Neal, who was at Universal, had left Universal Pictures last year. And he started teaching digital marketing at UCLA, film marketing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, earlier in the year, we're doing Chronicle. I'm like, we stayed in touch. I was like, hey, Doug, this is what we're doing with Chronicle. Are you in?
Yeah.
And no, I thought maybe he would just be interested in like,
mentoring,
advisoring. I love this. And he joined us full time.
Oh my God. So you poached him from Universal.
And it's funny the amount of reactions of people in the industry that know that they're just like, how did you get Doug? And it's probably one of the most validating moments, I think, of what we've done.
Yeah.
Just getting someone with his caliber, 14 years at Universal Pictures. Was responsible for a lot of the digital online content that we've seen in the last sort of decade, everything from Jurassic or Pitch Perfect or Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
All of those blood brands, Minions.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. That stuff is everywhere. Yeah. Jesus. If he did that is gold.
Yeah.
Selling it like a potato gem with glasses to everybody.
It was him, many people at Universal, obviously, but he was there at that time. And a very interesting point in time because 14 years at Universal in kind of the age where we're going from the first iPhone to like Facebook being evolved and trying to market film through the evolution of those digital platforms. So he's seen it. And, I think we're very excited to have Doug and see what we can do with Chronicle.
Yeah. And that's monstrous. And it's so good it's good to talk to you about the back end of film things, especially as a director, a front end or a guy that thinks of an idea and writes it. Because you go, okay, now we want to make this. And a lot of the time is spent pitching, walking around. And then you get fancy business people go, okay, what's my return on investment? You're like, what? Don't you just do it for love? Is that not why you hand it? But having something that you can point to that is super valuable for film. Have you had any experiences like that where you just go, now we can prove where money gets made. Now we can provide additional resource streams. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, certainly. I think we see our role as being able to, support films. Like typically what they would like to do is, you got the box office tickets and hits and selling popcorn and those kind of things. And you've got home entertainment releases. But then depending on the film, obviously, there can be so much more to that. And we've got the T-shirts and the toys and the merch and whatnot. We're trying to tap into that. But I guess from a more of an immersive experience. Now, what's really cool, and we can touch upon this and add to that answer, is that when we talk about NFTs, it's just the technology that we're talking about. What an NFT or digital collectible can be are many different things. And we're trying to educate the producers and the brand owners about that and get them to really get excited about this and make the most of it, really. For example, you could have NFTs or collectibles that are attached to a game, and maybe it's characters that you can play as in the game. So that could be one set of digital collectibles. Another one could be artwork. So it could be someone like a Beeple that's doing a creative artwork piece of that film. And that's something completely different to the first example. And then you've got 3D models. You've got your toy figurines that you would pick up on the shelf at the toy store. What's the digital equivalent of that? And it's a 3D figurine that exists in the metaverse. And that's another collectible. And then you've got something like a digital trading card, which is what Chronicles is aligning itself with, where I can collect a trading card and maybe that trading card has a scene from a movie, or it has a 3D avatar in it, or it has something that makes me look at it a little bit more closely and creates an immersive experience behind it. So NFT is the technology, but what it can be is many different things. And I still think that we're just beginning to explore what that is.
Excellent. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and blew my mind. And my poor mom's going to listen to this and go, like, oh my God, I'm just going to retire now and watch my sitcoms. Like this is a whole new world, but this is ones that there are people getting born into, and this is the only world they're going to know. It's good to talk to somebody that's creating all of that.
Just on that note, I've got a daughter, Sarah. She's 7, and she plays Roblox, and I just see her playing that, and I'm like, this is the future. Like it or not, this is definitely the future.
Yeah, exactly. And nostalgia for me is such a powerful thing. Like you said, Micro Machines. I'm like, I know, but I was playing that with my friend Mitch, and and Dino Riders. That's like another thing. Like there's these beloved franchises that are out there, and the nostalgia for me is like so powerful. I just get so pumped. I watch it sometimes. I'm like, this isn't what I remember, because I was like 8 at the time. But at the same time, I'm like, but I loved that. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Stories Within Stories podcast. We hope you've enjoyed the show. For more stories like this, head to barefoot-media-co.